Sims, and we are back with more Code Realize Wintertide Miracles, and it's been like a hot minute since I played this, because I had to do some London Detective Mysteria, and that took longer than I thought it was, but it's really funny because I just did Watson's route in London Detective Mysteria, and he has the Impy voice, and now I get to do the Impy route, and I gotta do that voice again, and I'm like, shit, I'm gonna break my... Why do I do this? Also, I want to point out, because I've been thinking about this for a long time and it's been driving me crazy with the triangle date, that, like, why they didn't do Sholmes and Watson. Hello? Who doesn't want that? Everyone. Watson. Hi. Yeah, we do. And why? Why? I know I said this before, but Alistair and Nemo? Nobody wanted that! What are you thinking? If you wanted to put another third thing in there, I know we don't have a lot of other characters, because I'm like, okay, they wanted to put Hansel in there. Okay, I'm intrigued by Hansel. Okay, I can see that. He's kind of cute. Okay. Who would you put him with? But they could have added additional scenarios, like, because I would have seen a Sholmes and fucking Lupin route. Hello, yeah. You could have seriously, I would have liked to have seen, I understand the Finis and Deli route. Okay, that's fine. It's like, yay, we're going to have our younger brother play date. That's cute. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Sholmes and Watson is what they should have done. And then if they wanted to expand on, like, have another date scenario, then I would have said Lupin and Sholmes. And then I could understand, well, then Lupin's in there extra. Who cares? No one is going to complain about that. The only other thing I would have seen would Sholmes and Lupin makes more sense, but you could have done a Hansel and Saint Germain. But then they would have been like, well, then we got to do something with, like, but, like, you really couldn't, because there's really nobody. If you didn't want to do a Sholmes and Lupin route, but you did a the Sholmes and fucking Watson route, I swear to God, I'd have gone on a triangle date with the Queen and Lionheart. I'd have voted for that. I'd have voted for that shit, because the Queen was hot, okay? I'd have voted for that before fucking Alistair and Nemo. The hell? Oh, I don't want to do that one. I just don't even want to. I mean, we're gonna, but I don't want to because I don't want to do Nemo's voice. But anyway. I just wish, like, their chibi characters are all cute, except for, like, Van Helsing's, because it's the glasses. It makes him look like he's got a pig nose. I keep trying to point with my trackpad, but it's not on my Vita, so I can't. But, like, all of the rest of them, he looks kind of like a puppet that's going to come to life and kill you, because he kind of looks angry, but I'm okay with it. But I don't know what it is, like, poor Van Helsing. It's like, why does his little chibi character look like Pig-Nosed MacGuffin? Like, what is wrong with it? Oh, it makes me so sad, because all the rest of them are so cute, and he's, like, so not. I just realized, I'm not kidding. My little standy guys that are standing up, my Lupin's backwards, my Saint Germain is backwards, and my Victor one is backwards from, like, how they're positioned here. Like, my acrylic stands, I have them standing the other way. It makes sense the way I have them. They're just thrown up there for now because I gotta rearrange all my shit on that shelf still. It's gonna be so much fun. Anyway, Code Realize. A terrorist plot that threatened the entire world, masterminded by the genius scientist Isaac Beckford, the modern Prometheus. His desire was to become a god over humanity. His madness drove his desire to push civilization into enduring a global war. The cornerstone of this terrible plot was me, the daughter of Isaac, Spacey. Embedded in my chest, blossoming like some terrible flower, was the precursor to the Philosopher's Stone, the Horologium. This false heart, eternally beating within it, with its poison running through me, is my curse. However, without having anyone to reach out to, without anyone being there to reach out to me, my fate to live my entire life as a monster. That quietly began to change on the day I took the hand of the gentleman thief. Then, to search for my father and to discover the purpose of my being born, I came to the city of Steel, London, where I met many of my friends. Oh, the magnificent gentleman thief, Arsène Lupin. Lupin, I love you. The dream-chasing genius engineer, Impy Barbicane. The sin-bearing alchemist, Victor Frankenstein. He's so sweet. Alright, I know, Impy's great too, but, like, he's, like, my least favorite out of all of them, sorry. The mysterious, elegant noble, Saint Germain. Stabby, beautiful bastard. Oh, God, he's too pretty. The war hero dubbed as the human weapon, Abraham von Helsing. Meeting each of them, the countless days I've spent with them, this helped nurture the love in my heart when I thought I was but a doll. The things that gave warmth to my body when I had thought myself a monster. This is why I was able to save him, my brother who suffered, yearning for love. Why I was able to make that confrontation with the scientist who met a wretched fate, driven mad by his lost love. In the end, Father's mad plans vanished into the sky along with his desires. I've since returned to my home of Wales, where I now live with my little brother, Finis. At times, my friends visit me, and at others, I go to visit them. However, my brother and I usually spend our days together in peace. And just when I've begun to get used to this newfound lifestyle, winter and its crisp air had arrived sooner than I could realize. Every breath a white cloud in the winter cold, and the wind brings with it a frosty bite now. It's a season that is inherently quiet, inherently lonely, but I'm certain this town cares not for the cold, as is filled with liveliness today as usual. No, in fact, this winter will be more exciting than ever. You're damn right. We know how this goes. It was only a few days ago that I found out. This year, it seems, London is planning a grand Christmas celebration to coincide with the unveiling of the Reconstruction Memorial. Led by Queen Victoria, Christmas trees will adorn streets all throughout the city. There'll be many stalls at the Christmas market as well. If the city is decorated with holiday colors, I'm sure it'll look more beautiful than usual. And on such a joyful day as that, it's hard to picture Lupin and his fun-loving crew simply sitting by doing nothing. Something's bound to happen when Christmas arrives, that much is certain. My chest is full of excitement as I consider the holiday that's fast approaching. Yes, this is the story of a particular Christmas that occurred in a Wintertide London. Definitely. Let's definitely see each other again, Spacey. Facing the train shrinking into the distance, I wave my hand back and forth. The train gradually becomes smaller. So too does the whistle fade. I keep staring until I can no longer see the girl I love anymore. Forever and ever. Aww. It all began more than a year ago. The girl who appeared before me and Lupin as we pursued pursued the special agency Twilight. The girl whose chest held the gem of science, Spacey. To solve the mystery of the whereabouts of her missing father, we, Lupin's crew, decided to search for a father with London as our base. But Spacey's father was Isaac Beckford, touted as the greatest scientist in United Kingdom history. What he had been working on in secret was a devious plan with tragic consequences, as he waged war in the name of the science. Code Realize. As a member of Lupin's crew, I learned the grim reality of his plans, and in discovering the truth, I learned of the darkness that science conceals on the day when steel covered London sky. Darkness that science conceals. Okay, no, I read that right. I just thought I read it wrong. The large aerial battleship Nautilus. The flying arc that the scientist Nemo had created as a pivot of Code Realize. Knowing the ship could never fly on its own, I knew it had unleashed the ship into the sky. It was none other than the fruits of our labor rendered against us, the invention by the old man. I like how it's in brackets, fucking hilarious. Who had aimed for the moon. What he spent his whole life creating. The gravity alleviator, which reduced an object's weight nearly to zero. Is that supposed to... I'm just wondering if these are supposed to be... No, I was wondering if they're supposed to be... like, glossary words? Maybe? And, like, the brackets were supposed to be there to say it's supposed to be in red text, but it's not for some reason? Like, I don't know. Anyway. Well, it was painful. It was vexing. And most of all, I was devastated. A device intended to fulfill the hopes and dreams of all by proving our hands could reach the sky. It was used to trample the dreams of the people who wanted only to live in peace. And that's why I decided, I'll make the gravity alleviator lose control, send the Nautilus flying. If I was successful, the old man's memento would be sent into the far skies, never to return. It was something I'd fully considered. I decided to send the battleship, which had troubled the denizens of London with its frightening size, flying into the distance. All that so when the people of London looked up at the sky, they could see the moon shining. And so, all in all, thanks to the bravery of Mr. Impey and all, the disastrous incident came to an abrupt end. Which meant, although tragic, the fate of Lupin's crew was an unavoidable course of events. With the Nautilus incident, the time came for all of the friends to part, and for each to walk their own paths. Impey, thank you for everything you've done. The person who first left from London, out of all of us, was none other than Spacey. She, who had decided to return to her birth home situated in Wales and live with her little brother Finis, had called me over and smiled at me during a brief moment before her train departed. This is going to hurt me so much to have to be him for the whole time doing his voice. It hurts already. So I'm sorry if I'm failing at it, but I'm struggling here. Anyway, it's been a long time since I first came to Steel London, but thanks to you, I've made a lot of fun memories, more than I could count in this city. So many that my heart overflows when I try holding on to them all at once. Stop it, Spacey. Actually, shouldn't I be the one thanking you? Oh my god, my lord. Gotta count my lucky stars that you, goddess of beauty, are in front of me. How's that? I'm not a goddess, but that makes me happy. She responded to my playful exaltation with a precious grin. Then she shifted her glance and looked towards the skyline behind me. It's strange. Soon I'll be leaving the city behind. For some reason, I only remember the times I've walked around the city with you, Impey. Oh, shucks. You know how to make me smile. That's, it means that the date with the dashing gentleman thief made the biggest impression on your heart. Oh, this dashing gentleman thief. Ahem. I was like, why would you say that about Lupin? This dashing gentleman thief. But you're not the dashing gentleman thief, so that sounds like an awkward thing for him to say. That's probably why I read it wrong. Anyway. Yeah, that's right. Quite the impression. As my bodyguard, you accidentally lost me. You were nearly captured at the casino. The stalled engine with the automobile, the ornithopter almost falling. I can't forget, even if I wanted to. Ornithopter, a type of aerial vehicle that takes flight by flapping its wings like a bird. Due to its weight, its practicality in reality is limited at best, but it's utilized effectively in this game's world. This is a game? Oh my god! Why would you say that to me, Glossary? I was literally gonna be like, why would you say that to me, game? Which would have been funnier, actually. Like, game? You mean this is a game? Why would you do that to me, game? Why would you tell me this is just a game? I can't believe it. Huh? What are you playing at? Don't you have any cooler memories of me? Dig a little deeper, would you? Other than the times when you confused Lupin's disguise for me, and then tried to flirt. No, stop! Not those memories. I should have known. Are you trying to break my heart here? Wishing to delay the inevitable farewell, we shared one last laugh. Spacey stared at me with a kind gaze, perhaps relishing the opportunity to joke while the chance was still available. I'm sorry, Impey. There are, of course, many better memories to remember you by. For example, the sight of your face as you steered your automobile with abandon, cutting through the wind in haste. Soaring through the far-reaching blue skies as you dodged the clouds with the ornithopter. Everyone in Lupin's crew each taught me something new, but I think the person who most opened my eyes to this vast world, so much so I thought it would crush me, was you. I see. I see. If that's what the love of my life thinks of me, then everything I worked for was worth it. I see it now, how much she's changed. The joy forming in the curl of her smile was something I never saw much of in the old Spacey. Seeing how this girl can now laugh with her delicate, carefree smile makes me well and truly happy. And just a bit lonely as well. Watching the Neo steam engine warm up, the train released steam like a song from a canary. It was soon time for the train to depart. Alright, I know it's sad to hear, but it's almost time for you to depart. So let's meet back up with the others. If I have you to myself for too long, the guys will give me an earful. Right. I'm not the only one who'll miss her. Lupin, Van Helsing, Victor, Saint Germain, Deli, Cece, I'll all miss her. That's why I'm sure it's not just me, whose heart is heavy from the pain, whose eyes are fighting back tears. Aww. I wonder if she could feel the ripple of my sinking feelings. Any indication was trapped in her stare, belied by an inquisitive expression. Well, this is unexpected. Huh? Unexpected? Oh, sorry. Perhaps it was just my own image of you, but truthfully, I thought our parting would be a much more intense affair. I'm gonna miss you! Is my divine maiden returning to the heavens? Like that? Well, I mean, I'd love nothing more to cry and wail and to throw a tantrum. But you know, today's the start of your new life, so it'd be rude to sour the occasion with tears, eh? Well, there goes my attempt at levity, but I'm not sure if it succeeded. And because her eyes still wavered in a lonesome way. And that's why... It's okay, Spacey. Who do you think I am? Taking one step closer, I softly grazed her cheek with the back of my hand. And then I gently stretched my finger to wipe the tear before it fell. I am the man who'll someday land on the moon, the genius engineer, MP Barbicane. Therefore, for a man like me, who else is just right around the corner, isn't it? So don't be sad. If something ever happens to you, I'll fly right over there before you know it. Okay. And Spacey curtly nodded her head, and a solid light impact is felt just a smidge above my heart. Pluck! Radiating from the forehead that pressed against my chest as a slight warmth, as if to was a slight warmth, as if to tell me, I couldn't help but raise my arms, but no matter what, I couldn't hug her. In fact, I couldn't move a muscle until she separated from me. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna come visit London too, so it's not like we'll never see each other again. And her head soon rose quietly. And then her smile, like a flower blossoming under sunlight, returned. Let me say it once more. Thank you for everything, Impy. For expressing your love to me time and time again. It made me happy. It made me feel extremely awkward and sexually harassed. I'm just kidding. I want to thank you, too. You're a proud, kind, strong, and exceptionally cute princess. That's why you must believe in yourself and find happiness. I honestly can't believe it. Not only 10 minutes ago we exchanged those solemn words. The train she boarded is now far, far away. It's been 10 minutes, not that far. All I've left of her is the warmth she left on my chest, aching like a memento. Yeah, I can't stop her. Honestly, I couldn't bear to see her go. I should have stamped my feet, cried, or wailed. But she wants to protect her beloved little brother, who's her sole surviving blood relative. I mean, not really. We were invented, so we're not really related by blood. Not even sure we have blood. Just saying. Without a father or a mother. If I had put aside the old man, for someone as acquainted with loneliness as me, I understand her reasons, even if it hurts. That's why there's no way that I can stop her. Seriously? Is this what it means to be speechless? Be, not. It's lonely, agonizing. But I want her to be happy. I gazed longingly into the sky at the white moon. For some reason, though, the blurry moon seemed even further than usual, and... Why does it look like there's a fucking face in it? Oh my god, that's horrifying! Like, okay, tilt your head to the left, right? Sideways. Do you see the creepy, scary, like, demonic clown face? Like, I wish I could point to it. But, like... There's that little bit of the moon that's, like, cut off at the bottom by the sky. And, like, you can see, like, right there to the right of it. It's, like, the eyes. And then the nose. And then the mouth goes along, curves kind of along near the bottom. Okay, if you turn your head to... it's creepy as fuck! Why did he make me look at it? He was like, it looks hazier. So I looked up and I was like, it's a creepy demonic clown face. It's haunting me. I'm gonna die. Guys, if you never see this video, it's because I'm dead. The creepy clown demon moon monster came and killed me in my sleep. Ugh, it's terrifying. Let's read this fast. So that I wouldn't lose sight of it for a while. I kept staring. Please don't. Please don't keep staring. Oh, thank God. Don't. It's horrifying. Now I'm never going to be able to see that scene with the sky without thinking that. And so... I don't know who it was. Oh, it's Nemo. And so... I don't know how to do his voice anymore. Are you listening? Impy Barbicane? I don't think I can do his voice anymore. I don't remember what I did, but it was painful and it was awful and I don't want to do it. God damn it. God damn it, game. They're like, oh, look, we'll bring back Nemo. I don't want to bring back Nemo. Like, I didn't want you to. Anyway. Do you understand? He was fun, though. Like, at first, I was like, he's fun. It hurts my voice. I don't want to do this anymore. Why did I do this to myself? Why do I do this to myself? I don't know. Anyway. Whoa, jeez. I almost flip over as loud sound suddenly pierces through my ear. And the image of Spacey that was lingering in my head was shattered with extreme force. In a panic, my senses return. Just as I thought. Nemo, who's glaring across the bars, comes into sight. How dare you let distraction conquer you whilst in conversation with me? I don't remember if this is the voice we gave right now, but it was dramatic, over the top, and it hurt. So this is about as much as I can do right now. It's deplorable, truly deplorable, I say. Ah, the genius scientist Nemo. Sorry. I can't do his voice. I can't do him without laughing. It's so ridiculous. Anyway, and providing you with my intellect and knowledge unsparingly. So what excuse can you conjure to explain why you've spaced out like this? I can't be as high-pitched. It really is. It does actually hurt. Anyway. Sorry, my bad. Believe me, I was only zoning out for a tiny bit, okay? So please, from the beginning, just one more time, Professor Nemo. Also, try lowering your voice a bit. How troublesome! However... Impy Barbicane, you dignify me as a professor? I ask because we are the closest of friends and rivals until death. It's been 6 months since Nemo was in prison for his hijinks with the battleship Nautilus. Today, like any other day, his loud voice echoes in the dungeons of Buckingham Palace. I know, right? It's probably deafening you guys. It's hurting me to do it, so if it hurts your ears, welcome to my pain. It hurts my voice. A Buckingham Palace. A palace in the central part of London where the British imperial family resides. Its scale was originally small, but because Queen Victoria lived there, it became the official palace of the British royal family. Being that loud usually elicits complaints, but luckily or unluckily, the nearby cells are empty. Well, that's not the whole story. There were more prisoners in this block, but ever since Nemo's arrival, the prisoners had sent pleas, one after another, asking to be reassigned to a new cell. In truth, I sort of know how they must have felt. No doubt I'd suffer a non-stop headache as well if I had listened to Nemo's voice ramble on in this enclosed space. Ahem! Keep it down, you two. The only reason you two are allowed to speak is by special decree of Her Majesty and Parliament. Don't you ever forget that? That's not Lionheart's voice either. I don't know what's happening. Here. Ahem. That was so loud. My neighbors were like, what the fuck is going on? Sorry. I wondered what words would slither from under your tongue. You ignorant fool. You know nothing of science. The mere likes of you has no right to interrupt the resonance of souls. Understood. We hear you loud and clear. We'll pipe down, so please forgive us, Captain. Unruly gits. I'll be waiting outside. Mind yourselves, you two. That's not his voice. What happened to it? You know what? I don't know. We did his voice, I think, just fine in the other ones, but now I feel like Whatever. Oh, Lionheart. I have a deep voice and a grunt. There we go. It's a little better, but it's not quite it. That's not it either. I don't know what happened. You know what? Fuck it. Well, I guess it's good that we don't have to date him and the Queen, because I'd have fucked that up real bad. With my hand still covering Nemo's mouth, I see off Lionheart, who grimaces as he leaves. And then finally, I let out a sigh of relief. Give me a break. I got a backup plan for when you run your mouth and they extend your prison term. Jeez. In fact, if he were never to emerge from this cell, then, though it pains me to say it, I'd be left in one hell of a bind. After the Nautilus incident came to an end, I sought desperately to recreate my plans to reach the moon from scratch. My only ally in this was, crazy as it sounds, Nemo, the mad genius who currently sits behind these very bars. This is, of course, leaving aside the fact that everything was thrust into motion because he stole the gravity alleviator. However, it sounds like Nemo's had a lot to consider after watching Isaac's last moments. As fate would have it, this self-proclaimed closest friend of mine now provides me with advice whenever I happen to visit his cell. Well, to be honest, his advice is immensely helpful. Ignoring how absolutely bonkers he can be, his aptitude for science is undeniable. Okay! Now that the unenlightened Philistine has dragged his feet out of sight, let us continue our conversation, MP Barbicane! It hurts so bad, but it's so much fun. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Oh shit, I'm gonna hate myself for this in the morning. But anyway. Yes, okay. So I've been looking everything over, but the most glaring issue for me right now is how I'm gonna replace the gravity alleviator. Whether I need to rebuild the device, or if I have to redesign a schematic without it, I'm basically working from the ground up here. Because that device was fashioned from the hands of man, there's no reason to assume it cannot be made once again. Although, when you analyzed its components, it revealed itself to be something of a miracle, formed by tremendous trials and errors. Let go of any delusions that it can be built in a day. It will not be so easy. Gee, if only I'd thought of that. If I could build it in a day, I wouldn't be here. It was something that took the old man decades to assemble. Regrettable! A shame for all of science that such a magnificent device has been lost. Because you stole it and you're a douchebag. Surely a method to recall the Nautilus must exist somehow. MP's about as fed up with this bullshit as we are. Look who's talking. Half the reason the device is gone is this deranged madman in front of me. If only I could seethe and spit out as much, but there's no use in pressing the issue. Anyways, for now, I'll perform test calculations for the cost of both plans. I also want to talk it over with Victor. I gather the documents I had brought in and hand a couple of them to Nemo. Well, like they say, yesterday's foe is today's friend. Though we once opposed one another, I'll be counting on you, okay, Nemo? Leave it to me, my friend! After all, I feel partly responsible for the mess I made this time. Partly? But no need to fret. With the chemical bond of our friendship, nothing is impossible. Oh, please tell me you're leaving, because I can't do this anymore. Praying that this supposed chemical bond won't result in a huge explosion this time, I beckon Lionheart over, waving my hands as I move to leave the dungeon. I love the way they do this, like, pan up, like, check him out, ladies. Ladies. We don't get the full, we need the full feet up. I want to see the whole outfit. We gotta see the whole fucking thing, because if your shoes are wrong, it just throws off the vibe, is all I'm saying. Alrighty then. I might have reinforcements, but I got no shortage of problems, too. I should start with what I can do myself. If I stop here, the old man would be laughing at me. The moment I resurface from the dungeon, a chilly breeze brushes against my cheek. In this season, even I can't fight the cold in just my overalls. I don my coat as I step out, muttering softly as I look up at the sky. Oh, sorry, itch. At last, winter has arrived. Winter is coming. No, it's here, bitches. Anyway. Oh, Saint Germain. I'm sorry. Yes, the balance is still a bit off. I can't do his voice. Wait. And then, what I should do here is cut this branch off and... I'm not doing his voice right. I can't. Why can't I do his voice right now? I don't know. We'll ease into it. We'll work into it. Oh, well, that will do. After all, during this time of year, I suppose cutting too much would leave its appearance bleak. At the garden of Count St. Germain's mansion, the sound of scissors pruning reverberates. The familiar sound gives me pause as I take a step onto the premises. Sadie G, I'm home. Oh, welcome back, Impy. You've returned rather late today. Sorry, my bad. The meeting with Nemo dragged, and then I went shopping afterward in town. So unfortunately, you'll have to wait just a bit longer for dinner. I'll prepare it in no time. No, you have no need to rush. The garden still requires tending, and Lupin is still locked up in his room toying with his thievery trinkets. Thievery trinkets. He also conveyed an eagerness to test them upon human subjects once he was finished, so be sure to inform him of your arrival. Uh-huh. Did you mean for that to sound as threatening as it did? We've been acquainted for a long time now, and by surviving that incident together, it somewhat rapidly accelerated our bond, but even so, with his ever-mysterious grin, Saint Germain examines the luggage I was carrying. Speaking of tools, I presume these are from your shopping trip? I see no expense was spared. Yep, there's a lot to tinker with in here. Honestly, I had to restrain myself from buying more. But I had to work within my budget. Man, it's hard out there. And then in order to improve your financial situation, I shall also continue my search for candidates to serve as your benefactor. After all, friends must look out for one another, hey? I'll do the best I can. Well, thanks, AGG. I'll be looking forward to hearing good news. Yes, that's right. The quest to achieve scientific greatness is as timeless as the need for money in dire straits. No matter how close one may be to a breakthrough, shit. If one's without the adequate finances, then the dream is as good as dead. After thanking St. Germain, I wave him goodbye and begin walking toward the mansion. Well, in the meantime, I'll start dinner. Dinner for 3 will be done in a jiffy, so pass the word along to Lupin. Indeed, I shall inform him. Though, 3 people, you say? The sound of scissors abruptly stops. St. Germain lowers his hands, turning to face the mansion. How time flies. I cannot believe that the only ones living in this mansion are now you and Lupin. Yep, before we knew it, it was just us, the original members. Strangely, perhaps because of that reason, the mansion feels more spacious than it did before. St. Germain's right. Ever since Lupin and I first met him and moved to live in his mansion, it seemed totally normal that it was only the 3 of us in the beginning. Since then, we had brought in Spacey, kidnapped Spacey, Victor and Van Helsing joined, and then Deli as well, and finally even Finnis had joined. Back then, the mansion bustled with life every single day. Why couldn't we have just stayed, just been friends forever? Perhaps that might be why, as of late, there are moments when I find myself feeling lonelier. Something's missing. Someone's missing. This mansion is a bit too big for just the 3 of us. It's a bit too big for, like, the 10 of us that were living here. I mean, Jesus. During the first few months after Spacey had gone back to Wales, we and Lupin's crew had found ourselves being pulled apart in different directions, each of us moving closer to the destinies set before us. After Spacey, it was Van Helsing and Deli who were the next to leave the mansion. To protect what remained of the vampires, the 2 began their journey to establish a self-governed district for vampires. Currently, Victor is running a clinic on Lower Street. Knowing how cruel it would be to leave Cece in a mansion whose residents were often absent, we asked Victor to take him in. I'm surprised Deli wasn't like, we're taking him with us, he's my best friend! Deli and fucking Cece. So cute. Victor resides in London, so he comes to visit from time to time, but I wonder how the others who left London are doing right now. Such as Van Helsing and Deli. Also, Finnis and Spacey. I didn't intend to say her name, but it slipped out instinctually from the back of my throat. Spacey. The only girl in Lupin's crew. The one who holds the beautiful gem in her chest, as well as a heart that's prettier, stronger. My cherished princess. By the way, Imby, I noticed that you do not seem to mention her anymore, do you? Huh? I don't?
Yes, before, every time she came up, "I'll always love you, princess," was all you said.
Well, it's not like she's here in front of us. It just makes me sad to say it, you get me? That's not it. My heart calmly reminds me. The reason I speak about her less is not because I don't see her anymore. It's likely because we spent too much time apart and I've buried her name into a chasm-like wound, so tender that the mere mention of her name causes my chest to ache. Saint Germain's eyes fix upon me intently as he stares in complete silence.
Impy, do you like her?
Huh? For a second, the question doesn't register, and I foolishly squeak in response. Come on, Saint GG. You don't even have to ask. The romantic genius engineer and the servant of love, Impy Barbicane. All year, 365 days, from good morning until good night, I'll always be loving my honey. Yes, this feeling, no matter how far away Spacey is, it'll never change. The question hadn't even needed asking from any member of Lupin's crew, but Saint Germain continues to stare at my face without a word.
You may like her, but there are several degrees of like.
Several degrees? I perform a hasty double take as he stares into my face as if probing something.
Then, allow me to pose a different question. And tell me, why do you like her?
Why? Troubled by a question more difficult than the previous one. This time I fall speechless.
I understand quite well that you harbor feelings for her. However, I believe I've never thought to ask you for your exact reason.
That's the reason I like her. If I were to rattle off the first words that come to mind, then there are countless. It's because she's cute, or a charming personality, or that being with her brings me joy. But no matter how many words I conjure, for some reason, none of them seem to settle with me. It irritates me that I can't seem to find the right words to say. And seeing that I've fallen silent, I wonder what thoughts travel in his mind. Saint Germain's expression calms, and he smiles in an apologetic manner.
Pardon me, it was a bit of an unfair question.
Saint Germain extends his light apology, this time without waiting for my response. He pulls from his pocket a plain envelope and holds it out as if it were an olive branch. Look at his goddamn outfit is fucking amazing. God damn, Saint Germain, you're really so fly.
Let us change the topic, shall we? And not too long ago, this letter arrived addressed to this mansion.
Oh! Hey, wait! This letter, it's from Van Helsing and Delhi. Whoa, took him long enough. I've been thinking about how those two should contact us more often.
Those two are living their lives, moving from one journey to the next. Though I do not doubt they have neither the time nor the opportunity to write letters.
That I was so quick to offer an overreaction might have been a sign that I was stirred. I shake my head and open the letter. It is nostalgic reading Van Helsing and Delhi's handwriting, each one overlapping the other. Okay. So right now they're in Scotland?
Yes, they appear to be doing well, and they say that receiving no correspondence from them is a sign they're safe, but so it would seem.
The letter contained messages from both Van Helsing and Delhi. In addition, the news of their protection-related affairs, they included recent updates as well. And then at the end of the letter, each of them wrote their future plans in a playful manner. We'll be spending Christmas and New Year's in London. Then that means...
It seems when the year draws to a close, familiar faces will gather in nostalgia.
We're approaching the 6-month mark since Lupin's crew was last assembled. Though it might be a bit soon to wax nostalgic, these days certainly drum up nostalgia. Just remembering some of the scenes from back then causes excitement to stir from the bottom of my heart.
This year, by order of Her Majesty the Queen, along with holding a memorial of the incident, a grand Christmas celebration is being planned. All of London will bask in the glow of a holy night livelier than anyone held before it.
It's us and Victor who still reside in London. Plus, Van Helsing and Delhi appear to be coming. The only ones not included are... those two in Wales.
Indeed. May I entrust it to you to contact them?
Of course! I'm barely able to contain myself. I scamper down the hallway. It's been so long since everyone's gathered. And I'll see Spacey for the first time in months. Just thinking about it ignites a flame in my heart's engine, and nothing can extinguish it. Tell me, Why do you like her? I know that was supposed to be probably in Saint Germain's voice, but as I sprint down the hallways, bolting away from words that, for a split second, echo in my ears, I clench my fists tightly. Wait for me, my angel! Hippie's got a love letter with your name on it! That hurt my voice. At least I know who. Oh, thank God. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. I'm not singing. Fuck that. How I wonder what you are. All right, and there. I'm not fucking singing. The moment I knock lightly on the pipe with my wrench, my ears ring from a small explosion. As the car shakes in violent protest, plumes of steam and smoke spring up like mushrooms. Flapping the smoke away, I glance under the hood of the automobile in haste. Just as I thought, this won't be as easy as when Impy does it. But as a student of the genius engineer, I can't get discouraged from one failure. When treating an intricate circuit board, handle it as you would a girl you love. Remembering Impy's lessons, suggestive as they may be, I gently peek inside. The Neo steam engine looks fine. There's no problem with the coolant tank either. She knows more about the shit than I do, let me tell you. Checking the radiator. Oh, is this it? I see white steam leaking out from the corner of the pipe as if an evacuation. After locating the source of the leak, I tried tightening the bolt. All right, should be fine this time. I start the engine once again, and after checking that there's no leak, I heave a sigh of relief. Whew! Maintenance done! As a result of wrestling with it for a few hours, my hands are caked in engine oil and soot. I can already hear Finnis groaning at me saying, "You made such a mess again." But no matter how upset he might be at me, I don't plan to stop tinkering with machines. I make an effort to spend time with machinery. In these moments, as I toil with maintenance, I remember Impy's voice. It never fails to soothe my heart. It's been half a year since I left London. It just hit me. I can't believe it's been so long since I returned to Wales. Since living here with my little brother, I've experienced no worries or strife. Calm, serene, and temperate days that blend together, leading me to believe that I live in one endless, monotonous day. But I think I still miss London a bit. Perhaps I'm spoiled for being troubled by it, but because my days are so peaceful now, I now pine for the liveliness from back then. Days when the mansion always welcomed a new visitor, and when the commotion never ceased. I wonder if everyone else is doing well. Lupin and Van Helsing, Victor and Saint Germain, Deli and Cece, and Impy. Whilst reminiscing about how everyone is doing, I catch myself smiling in reverie. In particular, whenever I'm with Impy, there's no shortage of excitement. I wasn't the only one who succumbed to his charms. Nobody could help from grinning in his company. So maybe that's why there are times, even now, when I long to hear his cheerful voice. I love you, Spacey! I know, everybody loves me, it's amazing. Sorry. I love you too. Whether it be like or love, Impy had repeatedly directed those sorts of words at me. Of course, every time he said it, someone would utter a joke about it or shrug it off, but thinking back, each of Impy's tokens of affection accumulated little by little. I love you, he would declare so many times that gradually I began to believe that it's okay for me to love myself. And that could be why now, as I was able to show my little brother what true love means. And so thanks to Impy, that's why I now understand how love is gentle and warm. It's nurtured with patience, with care, by someone close to heart. I've imparted this emotion to Finnis as Impy had imparted it to me. And that's how it should be. But recently, I think, I felt strange. I love Finnis. I love Impy. The sentence borrows the same words, but I notice how there's a slight difference between how I direct the phrase towards Impy and how I direct it towards Finnis. As I slightly tilt my head, I return inside. Afterwards, I clean up and pack up the tools as I head inside the house. I see Finnis on the living
in the living room holding a book in one hand and a cup of black tea with the other. Sister, tinkering with machines again, were you? Oh, I guess, can you tell? Well, I mean, you've got soot on your face. I could just do that for you later. Closing the book as he stands up, Finis tosses a towel in my direction. After catching it, I direct my eye toward the book that he shut. Were you reading that book this whole time? Yes, the detective novel I bought the other day. I haven't read too many novels before, but I must admit, this is a scintillating read. Oh, in that case, I have a recommendation for you. Shirley told me about it, but there's this one by Jane Austen. Jane Austen, one of England's most famous female novelists of the 19th century. She's renowned for her writing style, which delicately portrays romance and daily life. No way! Isn't that a romance novel? I found it rather interesting. I thought it was the perfect material for Finis to learn about love. But for reasons I cannot explain, he seems displeased by it. If it interests you so, then read it yourself, whether romance or love. Though, what a bother it would be if you took strange influence from it and acted like Impy. Like, I love you, my princess, more than anyone else in the world! My little brother mimics Impy mockingly. Watching Finis do so, I dilate at my brow, thinking hard before responding quietly. Hey, Finis. Yeah, what is it? And make it quick if you have something to tell me. I want to continue reading. It's the scene where Dr. Watson is being cornered by the culprit. It's really weird, though, that you're reading... When you said a detective novel, that's exactly what I thought in my head, but I was like, no. But it's really even weirder that you are reading fucking Sherlock Holmes, and we know Sherlock fucking Holmes. The fuck? Do you love me? Huh? Maybe it took him by surprise. Stabbed with a sudden question, a croak leaks out from his mouth. But I nod with a serious expression and draw closer to him. Not like that weird impersonation earlier, but with words that are more like yourself. I want you to just say you love me. Quickly. However sounds good. I don't know what you're saying. Big sister, did you hit your head? It's not that. I don't really get it myself. That's why I want to check. If you're messing with me, then why should I sit here and let it continue? Finis glares at me with a violent look. But because the conversation had already begun to flow in this direction, I cannot bring myself to draw back either. I must find some way to confirm this strange feeling inside of me. No? Not no. More like there's no reason to say it. There's no reason not to say it. I really want to hear you say I love you. Perhaps struck by my seriousness, Finis gulps. He's okay. I'm sorry. When he makes this face, he's so pretty and precious. You're like, oh my God, he's like a precious little doll. His eyes flickered, wandering 2 or 3 times in hesitation. I love you? Something's off. What? The nerve of you! After begging me to say it? It makes me feel a gentle warmth, which no doubt is love, but... But in the end, it's different from when Impy says it, lacking in color or the temperature. I feel bad for Finis, who by now is vehemently calling me names. How is it different, and in what way? Without coming any closer to an answer, I continue to ponder. Then, 10 minutes later... I reconfirmed something today. I hate you, big sister. I'm sorry? I apologize. And can't you forgive me? As a result of being forced to declare his love for me, albeit multiple times, Finis was sulked completely into his chair. In an attempt to raise his spirits, I began preparing more black tea. There's a delicious pie we've been saving, so I may try to give him some of it as an offering. The thought crosses as I take out a cup. My eyes stop at an object on the table. What's this? Oh, it's a package from the guys in London. What was placed on the table was a square box. From the looks of it, its contents aren't too big, nor, from how it feels, too heavy. Is this it?
There wasn't a letter with it or anything?
There was nothing of that sort. Or really, just that box.
You don't think the letter would be in the box? I mean, seriously.
Well, why don't you try opening it? Though it might explode the moment you do.
I think that's going too far. Bit scary how I can't finish the sentence. It might be better to hold something as a guard, or to expect something to pop out at least. With apprehension and determination, I open it. What we see inside is... It's a little empty... Oh! Look at... I'm sorry. I have her face. Like, that's so cute. Okay. Can we all, can we just get actual fucking plushies of our boys instead of the creepy weird ones that they have that have, like, normal heads and, like, weird bear kind of body thing? Like, I don't know what they are, but they're creepy and I don't like it. And that's all we have. But if you are if you have this game come out and you have a fucking impy plushie in this motherfucker and you don't actually make them, I'm pissed. I need them. I would buy all of them. I don't even care. I would buy every single fucking one of them. Well, not Cardia, I don't give a shit, but I would buy, like, all of our boys. I'd be like, all the plushies! I need a plushie pile, and I love the fact that it's an impy plushie. You make me so jealous, I need one! I need all of them! Ah! Why? There's an anime, you've got 3 games, why can't you give us plushies? That aren't creepy. I don't like the ones that exist, they're creepy. I want... real ones. Anyway, a doll that closely, but I just love, okay, I can't, I forgot my pointer thing doesn't work. But her face is like, ah! And that's exactly how I feel, but I love Phineas's face. Like, the fuck is that thing? His face is priceless. I love it. A doll that closely resembles someone familiar with red hair and overalls and only one sleeve. Is this?
And judging from its design, it's a cursed doll. Let's burn it immediately.
Don't say such a thing. But it's certainly a well-made doll with a pleasant, humorous design. I just love Phineas. Okay, I really hated him in the first game. I was like, what a douche! But, like, now that he's not like a douchebag trying to murder us and shit, he's actually pretty funny. Like, it has a plump body and cute round eyes. I pick it up gently. Then... Yahoo! My princess and sweet honey! My beautiful angel! I fucking love the impy that just popped up. He's adorable. It's me, your very own hunter of love, genius engineer and the perfect, handsome guy. Impy, but... Immediately the voices paused, cut off thanks to my little brother's nimble hands.
So it really was a cursed doll like I thought. Here, sister, pass it to me.
No, thank you. Protecting it from Phineas's evil clutches, I take a closer look once more. It doesn't have to talk. Our plushies don't have to talk. Although it'd be funny as fuck if you squeezed them and they said random fucking shit in, like, the Japanese voice acting. Like, you'd be like, I don't know what he's saying, but it'd be funny as shit. It would be a little weird, though. You couldn't have a plushie pile. Could you imagine, like, just rolling over in your sleep? Ah! Like, what I'm talking to. Okay. No. So, you know, just plushies, no voices. You don't need voices, but I want the plushies, motherfucker. I hear metallic sounds clinking from inside it. And there's a speaker in its mouth, as well as built-in sensors. Okay, that's going too far. I just want a plushie. Then that means... Is this an ether transmitter? Ether and the transmitter. Ether is a transmitter thought to have been abundant in space, according to physicists, prior to the 19th century. The idea has been debunked in modern times, but it exists in this game and is used for communication and the like.
No, that's not it. More like a handmade recording and playback device utilizing and applying the technology from the phonograph.
That was too much in one breath anyway.
I can't believe it makes something like this. He's meaninglessly skillful.
Meaningless indeed. Impy's a genius engineer after all. Anyway, I turn the switch again. The first few minutes of the recording are several more words of praise for me, so I ignore them since it was too much to bear. And the core of the message, it seems, is contained in the latter half. Come now, Impy! Hurry and cut to the chase. You'll run out of recording time. If you meander for too long, it'll be destroyed without the listener reaching the end. After all, its design encourages one to punch it. What do you mean? It's a cute design. Oh, Lupin and Saint Germain are there too. Oh! Oh my god! the voice acting. Because that's Lupin in Saint Germain. I was like, why is he saying that to himself? But that, okay, wait. I don't know if it's supposed to be. I feel like Lupin would be the one saying the doll was designed to punch it. So I'm gonna read the, okay, so like,
Come now, Impy. Hurry and cut to the chase.
he'll run out of recording time. That's not his voice, but anyway.
If you meander for too long, it'll be destroyed without the listener reaching the end. After all, its design encourages one to punch it.
What do you mean? It's a cute design.
Oh, Lupin and Saint Germain are there too.
That's fucking hilarious. I haven't had the chance to return to London, but their voices bring back memories all the same. Closing my eyes, I listened to the three bickering, imagining the racket they must have made. Ahem! Alright, let's take it from the top, you two. As you might have already heard from the papers, something special is coming this Christmas. A grand festival is being held in London.
And so we were thinking of holding a party at this mansion at the same time. And hear this! Van Helsing and Telly are also dropping by around that time.
And so, what say you to a reunion with Lupin's crew for the first time in ages, coupled with a luxurious dinner, courtesy of the genius engineer? I'll prepare a menu so exquisite you won't regret you came. You two, care to join us? Of course we'll go! I blurred out an unintentional response. Upon watching me nod and respond to the doll, Finis directs an appalled expression toward me. Fucking love his face.
What are you doing, sister? Have you any idea how foolish you look responding to her
Oh yeah, that's a response we've been waiting for. It is how I'd respond in the hopes that you'd accept my rousing invitation. Anyways, hope to hear a response from you soon. See you later! After the recorded letter ends, and silence fills the room once more, Finis and I face each other. Christmas!
Right. And now that they mention it, it is that time of year.
Perhaps because it's the first time in ages since I've heard Impy and the others speak. The gem in my chest beats faster than usual. A rapid pace that feels almost foreign to me within the peaceful confines of this mansion. This must be what they mean by hearts jumping for joy. Finis!
I know. You don't have to look at me with such expectant eyes. We're going to London, aren't we?
You're fine with it?
You'll go even if I said no. Well, I suppose I have Impy's cooking to look forward to, if anything. And though I could do without Impy himself.
I choose to ignore my little brother's callous words, as they're nothing out of the ordinary. If that's your decision, then we should start getting ready! I stand up from the seat. In order to write up my response, I start walking towards my room. The thought of a Christmas feast where a reunion for Lupin's crew will take place. Impy, of course, would be in attendance, offering a warm welcome as he always had. I love you, Spacey. Hear my love, my princess. I had heard those words from him many times up until now. But as I long to hear those words again, my chest starts tingling from restlessness. In a period of rumination, I look up toward the sky that connects us to London, far, far away. Dun, 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 dun. And this, we're probably back being Impy. Oh, well, I wonder. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this part up here because we're about at an hour and I don't want to go too long over. So, and we'll continue in the next part. So, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.